Playoff drivers wreck, Denny Hamlin wins, and Kyle Larson drives Darlington like it's a video game. All that and more coming up next. So, like I said, Denny Hamlin wins the race with a great call from crew chief Chris Gabehart, where he gets him out in front. He's got the track position, and he used the dirty air to hold off Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson did not go quietly into that good night, though, and the last lap, my man used the wall. He ran all the way up on Denny Hamlin's back bumper, and he absolutely went for it. It was pretty much the highlight of the race. And that being said, NASCAR's almost got this package right, even though we're going to the new car. You got the small spoiler. You had the big horsepower. You had the tire fall off because it was Darlington. Now you just need to get rid of the front splitter, because if you got rid of the front splitter, there could have been room for a pass there. But whatever. We'll take what we can get. Decent race. Pretty good finish. Just because Kyle Larson went for it. So that was pretty awesome. However, with that being said, with Denny Hamlin winning the race and leading, the absolute cowards at NBC and NASCAR said absolutely nothing about what's going on in his personal life, and that was just comically hilarious because pretty much everybody knows about it, but they didn't say one single thing about it. Whatever. NASCAR has their favorites. Like, Denny Hamlin is apparently protected, but, you know, somebody like Kurt Busch, he gets accused of something, they suspend him for races, so it's just comical at this point. NASCAR has uneven officiating, and it's just ridiculous. And I say that because I think NASCAR is doing the right thing. They shouldn't suspend him until some actual proof is there. But then they've suspended other drivers, like I said, like Kurt Busch, with absolutely no proof being there. And just to not totally acknowledge this is just totally, you know, whatever. It's NASCAR. It's 100% NASCAR. It's like the most NASCAR thing NASCAR's ever NASCAR'd. That's how NASCAR it is. But the other big story is a great number of playoff drivers had trouble, most of them getting in wrecks. Let's just run down the list of people who crashed out or at least spun out and wrecked and had some type of trouble. We had Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Micheal McDowell all were involved in some type of crash, and that's not to mention other people like Christopher Bell, who ran over debris, and Martin Truex, who sped on pit road. So just about every playoff driver had some type of trouble in this race. And with that being said, this is a good time to transition straight into the cutoff line. So at the very bottom of the cutoff line, we've got Micheal McDowell at minus 20, William Byron at minus 9. At minus 2, we have Kyle Busch, and tied on the cutoff line, Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman are tied. And the people that are above it are not very safe, because at plus 3, you've got Eric Almirola. At plus 4, you've got Chase Elliott. And then the other guys, I think you go all the way up to Logano, who's 3rd or 4th in points, and he's only got a 26-point cushion, so nobody's really safe except for Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson with a plus 80, I think. On to good race, bad race. Ross Chastain up there leading laps, showing out, finished 3rd. And was a little bit down on himself in the interview, saying he just needs a little more racecraft to be able to race with those guys. But I think it was a great performance from Ross Chastain. He's really starting to put it together. Also, Chris Buescher had a top 10. Austin Dillon with a top 10. Great runs for those guys. And then completely out of nowhere, Daniel Suarez with a 13th. And Corey LaJoie. I want to give a big shout out to Corey LaJoie. He ran in the top 10 all race. Got a little stretched out on pit strategy, like Hamlin stayed out and he pitted early, so he went a lap down. He got his lap back, and he still managed to get up there and finish 15th, but he was actually running in the top 10 for most of the race. So shout out to Corey LaJoie and Spire Motorsports. Hopefully those guys are starting to turn a corner, because that's about 2 or 3 races in a row where they have run particularly well. Also, Kevin Harvick and Stewart-Haas Racing. The number 4 car looked like it had some legitimate speed this race. He got up there, led some laps. He looked very strong early on, and the car stayed strong throughout. So you got to say good race for Kevin Harvick. Okay, and on to a bad race. Obviously, all those playoff drivers, they got into a wreck and got themselves into a bind at the cutoff line. Also, NBC's coverage, you got to at least say something. You got to at least mention something about Denny Hamlin, even if what you're mentioning is, we're not going to talk about the Denny Hamlin situation until more news comes out. Literally all you got to say. They might have said it in the pre-race, but I didn't see it. But that's literally all you got to say if you're not going to talk about it. Just say that, move on. And And also Martin Truex, man, he had the fastest car at the end of the race. If he hadn't sped on pit road, he might have had a win. Gotta hate it if you're a Martin Truex fan, because he was so close to getting another win on the season and locking himself in to the playoffs. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like the content, please subscribe down below. If you got a comment, leave it in the comment section. I try to respond to all the comments, and I love reading them, even if I don't get a chance to respond. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.